Hi all, today I'm going to be doing a review on Makeup Forever HD and Lancome foundation. I'm not going to be telling you which one is better because I think it just depends on the aim of the foundation for you and also your skin combination. So I'm going to be sharing with you what I feel personally about these two. I do use them regularly and I Lancome would be my second bottle, but the HD I tend to use it lesser because I'll explain to you why in a couple of seconds. So for the HD, it's the consistency is a lot more runny compared to the Lancome. Lancome is a little bit more creamier. Not much difference, but you do if you can compare them side by side, you will sort of get what I mean. And it's easy to blend. Both the Makeup Forever and Lancome, they're easy to blend with a stippling brush. That's what I usually do. It gives a flawless application. And for the HD, it gives a dewy finish compared to the Lancome. Lancome is more matte, and I personally like the matte finish, which is what I use for Lancome. Like I use it every day. But when I do want to take good photos, have like convocation, or I know I'm going to be taking a lot of photos that day, I would probably use Makeup Forever HD. And like I mentioned, the HD, it's meant to give you a photo finish, and it's supposed to make your pores look smaller on camera. Most of the time, if you do a good application in the Makeup Forever, you can barely see the pores. And if you're going to use a good primer underneath, you don't have to do a lot of touch up with that. And the only thing I have reservations about Makeup Forever, which is why I don't use it every day, is because it doesn't really last long. I'm based in Singapore, and Singapore, it's like summer all year long, except that it's humid and hot. So basically, Makeup Forever just melts within not even half a day, probably 3 hours out in the sun. That's it. So you gotta be prepared if you want to use Makeup Forever and you're gonna be out in the sun, that you do bring a touch up and you have to use powder to set the makeup. I mean, like Lancome has to set with a powder as well, but Makeup Forever seems to need more touch ups. And if you're gonna use Makeup Forever HD, if it looks good on camera, but if I were to come up to you personally, you would probably see the foundation sink into the pores, and you could see like tiny dots in my skin where the foundation had sunk into the pores. So I guess maybe it's the primer I use, but I couldn't find a mattifying primer that could probably do that job at the same time, as in to minimize the pores. I'm still on the lookout for that. So if I do find one, I'll let you guys know. And I think depending on if you're going to be using for photos, a great use HD. But if you're just going to be using for everyday and you do want a good foundation just to go to work or to school, Lancome would probably be a better choice. The reason being, Lancome is probably going to last you a whole day, and you probably need to just touch up once, probably midday. And I do have combination skin. I do have very oily T zone, and Lancome sorts of balances out my combination skin, whereby I get really dry areas on the cheeks. And Lancome I've been using it for about a year, and it seems to balance out the skin a little bit more whenever I use Lancome. And it's not cakey like both the makeup. They're not the both foundations are not cakey at all if you're going to apply them with a stippling brush. I'm not sure if you're going to use a regular foundation brush. I've tried that. I don't really like it because it's a bit streaky and it just takes too much time to blend. So I just use a stippling brush, like a MAC stippling brush would do, or a Sephora one. And what I like about the Lancome is also that it's more affordable. If you're going to be paying $70 for Makeup Forever and you're just going to be using it probably once a week, compared to Lancome, which is about $50 something Singapore dollars. I'll probably go for the Lancome. And this particular foundation is the Teint Miracle. I think that I'm pronouncing that right, and or not. So that foundation is supposed to bring your inner light from the skin. And I've had compliments when I use this foundation whereby it doesn't look like I have foundation on. It just looks like I've got great skin for the day. So it's a very good canvas to work on. And think about both the foundations is that a little goes a really long way. All I need is a pea-sized amount for the entire face with a stippling brush. And I guess with liquid foundations, you should just be using it on places that you really need the most, where it's red, where it's patchy, just to even out the skin tone, so that it's more wearable. So that's the two. And for Lancome, I probably recommend it for more those who have combination skin or oily skin. It's not oil free, but I don't think it's oil free. I mean, both of them are not oil free, but the Lancome one tends to help out with the oil control compared to the Makeup Forever, which is why you need to do more touch up with that. So if you have dry skin and you have lesser pores, smaller pores than I do, then probably you could use Makeup Forever HD every day. Like, I've seen YouTube gurus like Pixie Woo. She uses it and it's flawless on camera. So it does the same for me, but I'm not too sure if you go up close to her that you might have the same feedback as I do. So I'm just going to show you the two swatches that I did. And basically, I've got mine Lancome in I think the color is 004, I think, and the Makeup Forever would be in number 127. And this one is the Makeup Forever, this one is the Lancome. I did mention to you that the Makeup Forever is more runny and the Lancome is thicker in consistency. So yeah, and I did blend it out to just show you. This is very easy to blend because it's more runny. The Lancome is easy to blend as well. So I think you guys could probably just take my feedback and go to the counter and just try it out for yourself, and hopefully you could find a good alternative. But I do highly recommend the Lancome one, just because it's a lot more affordable and it's something you will probably use every day. In Asia, it's not very common to get sample products from them. So if you can't, then you probably could just go to the counter. What I do is I just go to the counter, get some on my hand, and I just apply it on my T-zone, and I'll just tell them I'll come back and just monitor how it works on your skin. If by an hour or two you find that it helps you, then why not go grab a bottle? It's not that expensive anyway. So thank you for watching, and I hope I didn't bore you. So till next time, bye.